If you can't trade $100 properly, you don't deserve $100,000. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, I'm crazy. You're thinking that's harsh. You're thinking, but I need more capital to make real money. But here's what you don't realize yet. That single sentence explains why 90% of traders fail prop firm challenges. And it has nothing to do with strategy, market knowledge, or technical analysis. What I'm about to reveal will completely change how you see prop firm challenges. More importantly, it's going to expose the exact psychological weakness that's been sabotaging your trading career. And if you've ever failed a funded challenge, if you've ever broken your rules under pressure, if you've ever revenge traded after a loss, this is the one lesson that will finally make everything click. But first, you need to understand what prop firms are really testing. Welcome to Stick Trader Mind, your home for trading psychology that actually makes sense and doesn't bore you to sleep. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. Here's what most traders believe. Capital is the problem. If I just had more money, if I just got funded, if I just passed this challenge, you've thought this. Be honest. Every trader has. And it sounds logical, right? More capital means bigger position sizes. Bigger positions mean bigger profits. Bigger profits mean financial freedom. Except there's one massive problem with this logic. Prop firms already solved the capital problem for you. Think about it. They're literally offering you $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 accounts. The capital is sitting right there. Available, ready. So if capital was the real problem, you'd pass the challenge easily and start printing money, but you're not passing. And it's not because of your strategy, it's because they're testing something completely different than what you think. And once you understand what they're actually looking for, everything changes. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Prop firms don't care about your strategy. I'll say it again because this is crucial. They do not care about your strategy. You could have a 70% win rate. You could have perfect technical analysis. You could predict every market move with stunning accuracy. And you'd still fail their challenge. Why? Because the challenge is not about making money. It's about behavior under constraints. Look at what they give you. A fixed drawdown limit, a daily loss limit, a clear profit target, specific rules you must follow. And instead of treating this like a professional evaluation, what do most traders do? They over-risk to speed it up. They revenge trade after small losses. They break rules once, then spiral completely out of control. That's not a strategy problem. That's a mindset problem. And here's the truly brutal part about mindset problems. They don't care how much capital you're trading. Whether you're trading $100, $10,000, or $200,000, your habits don't change. Only the numbers do. And this leads to the single most important question you need to answer. Let me show you something that will expose exactly which type of trader you are right now. A professional trader looks at $100 and asks, how do I survive? A losing trader looks at $100 and asks, how do I flip this fast? Read those two questions again, slowly, because that difference, that fundamental difference in mindset, is what prop firms are hunting for. And here's why this matters more than anything else. If you can risk 1 to 2% on a $100 account, if you can respect maximum daily loss limits, if you can take losses without revenge trading, if you can trade the same repeatable setups over and over, then scaling you to $100,000 is easy for them. Because here's what prop firms understand that most traders don't. Capital is cheap. Discipline is rare. They can create a $100,000 account with a few keystrokes. Money is just numbers in a database to them. It costs them almost nothing. But what they cannot manufacture, what they cannot create out of thin air, a trader who won't self-destruct under pressure. And this is where the $100 test becomes absolutely critical. But before I explain how to use it, you need to understand why most traders are failing right now. Let me be direct with you. Most traders don't fail prop firm challenges because they lose money. They fail because they lose control. Watch how this pattern unfolds. One loss happens. Just one. Maybe it was a legitimate stop out. Maybe the market moved against you. Totally normal. But then something shifts in your brain. That loss creates emotional pressure. You feel it in your chest, that tightness, that frustration. That voice that says, I need to win this back. The pressure turns into rule breaking. Just this once. Just this one trade. I'll get back to my rules after. The rule breaking turns into account failure. You hit your daily loss limit. or your max drawdown, or you take a massive position that wipes you out. Challenge over. And here's what makes this pattern so devastating. You can't hide it from prop firms. They're not looking for heroes. They're not looking for traders who can hit home runs. They're not looking for market geniuses. They're looking for operators, people who can execute without excitement, people who can lose without tilting, people who can win without ego. And that's the exact same mindset required to trade $100 properly. But most traders are missing something important. Now we get to the core of everything. When I say all you need in trading is $100, I'm not saying you'll get rich with it. I'm not saying you don't need more capital. I'm not saying prop firms are easy. Here's what I am saying. $100 is enough to prove you're professional. And this is where the real work begins. Deposit $100 into your account and trade it like it's the only account you'll ever have in your life. Risk just 1% per trade. No more. Exactly 1%. Set your maximum daily loss at 2 to 3%. When you hit it, you're done for the day. No exceptions. No revenge trading. None. Zero. I don't care if you know the next trade will work. Track every single emotional impulse. Write it down. Every time you want to break a rule but don't, you know what's going to happen? For the first few weeks, almost nothing will happen to your account. You'll take maybe 3 to 4 trades per week if you're patient. You'll have small wins, small losses. Your account balance will barely move. And this is where most traders quit, because it's boring. It's not exciting. It's not the adrenaline rush you're addicted to, but something that will change your entire trading career is happening. You're building emotional immunity to pressure. Every time you want to break a rule but don't, you're rewiring your brain. Every time emotion screams at you to revenge trade but you walk away, you're becoming professional. Every time you choose discipline over impulse, you're proving you can handle real capital. And this leads to something most traders never discover. Here's what happens when you master the $100 mindset. You enter a prop firm challenge, and suddenly, it's just another day. The account balance doesn't intimidate you anymore. The profit target is just a number. The drawdown limit is just a line on a screen. Why? Because you've already proven you can control yourself. You've already demonstrated you won't self-destruct under pressure. The rest is just execution. But here's where most traders make their biggest mistake. They think passing the challenge is the finish line. It's not. Passing the challenge is the starting line. Because getting funded is when the real psychological battle begins. You're going to look at that $100,000 account and your brain is going to whisper, "This is real money now. This is different." And if you haven't built the right habits with $100, if you haven't proven you can follow rules with small stakes, if you haven't trained yourself to respect drawdown when it doesn't matter, you will destroy that funded account within weeks. This is why prop firms have such high failure rates, even among funded traders. Because most traders see $100,000 and think the game has changed. But professional traders, they understand something you don't. Prop firm challenges aren't about passing. They're about revealing who you already are. And that identity, that core trader identity, shows up immediately. Even on a $100 account, you cannot hide your habits. You cannot fake discipline. You cannot pretend to have emotional control. The market doesn't care about your excuses. The daily loss limit doesn't care that you just need one more trade. The constraints reveal everything. And this is actually beautiful once you understand it, because it means you don't need to waste thousands of dollars on blown prop firm challenges to figure out if you're ready. You can find out right now with $100. Trade it properly, follow your rules perfectly, respect every rule, control every emotional impulse. Can you do it? Not for one day, not for 1 week, but consistently and repeatedly. If you can't follow rules with small money that doesn't matter, you will never follow them with large money that does. And here's the truth that most traders spend years avoiding. Before you enter another prop firm challenge, before you blame your strategy or the market or bad luck, before you tell yourself next time will be different, ask yourself this one question. Would I trust myself with capital if I were the firm? Be honest. Would you? If you saw your trading history, if you watched yourself break rules under pressure, if you observed how you revenge trade after losses, if you witnessed how you increase position size out of frustration, would you hand yourself $100,000? Of course not. And that's okay. Because now you know exactly what needs to change. You don't need a better strategy. You don't need more indicators. You don't need to read another trading book. You need to prove you're professional. And you can prove it with $100. The same discipline that manages $100 properly will manage $100,000 properly. The same emotional control that respects rules with small stakes will respect rules with large stakes. The same consistency that takes boring, repeatable setups on a tiny account will take the same setups on a funded account. Because professional trading isn't about the money, it's about the behavior. Here's what I need you to understand. The moment you master $100, the moment you can trade it with perfect discipline, zero emotional impulse, and complete rule adherence, funding becomes inevitable. Not because you've found some secret strategy or discovered a market edge, but because you've become the type of trader that prop firms are desperately searching for. Someone who won't self-destruct. Someone who can operate under pressure. Someone who treats trading like a business. And once you become that person, the challenges become easy. The funded accounts become accessible. The consistency becomes natural. All you need in trading is $100, not to get rich, but to prove to yourself and to the firms that you're mentally qualified. So take $100. Trade it for 30 days with perfect discipline. Follow every rule. Control every emotion. Track every impulse. And if you can't do it, if you break your rules even once, then you're not ready for funding. And that's okay, because now you know exactly what needs to change. The question is, are you willing to start small enough to prove it? Subscribe to the channel to join the community and share this video to a trader who needs it. You can also check out our ebook store for in-depth trading psychology tips to speed up your journey to consistency. The link is in our bio.